Hey everyone, welcome to the Blogger Breakthrough Podcast. I'm your host, Liz Stapleton from elizabethstapleton.com and the founder of the Blogger Breakthrough Summit. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about templates and systems. Remember, if you want to make sure you never miss an episode, be sure to hit that subscribe button. All right, so let's start with systems. First of all, systems do not need to be complicated. Actually, simple usually works best. Systems are important to make sure you don't actually miss things or drop a ball. A system could be as simple as a checklist. If you want to get a little more sophisticated, you can build in some automation with various tools. This is where Zapier can be really awesome to connect and trigger automations with various tools. They have a pretty good free plan, so you don't even have to pay for it until you get into a lot of more other complications and running a lot more automation. Because I'm sure you know that consistency is the key to blogging. But it's not just being consistent in publishing blog posts. It's being consistent with your promotion too. It's really being consistent across the board in all the things that you're committing to do with your blog. You don't have to commit to post 3 times a week. But if you're committing to posting once a week or once every other week, you need to commit to that and actually stick with it. And everything that goes along with it, creating graphics for the post. If you're doing video, creating a video. If you're doing Pinterest Pinterest marketing, doing Pinterest for it. So making sure you've got all the elements you need to create and promote through whatever various channels you choose to promote. But at the very least, you should, and this is my tip, be letting your email list know about your content. So you don't want to miss a step, and why you need to, that's really why you need systems in your blog. So what I primarily use to help me kind of keep track of everything, because there are a lot of moving parts, is ClickUp and then Airtable if I'm dealing with a lot of data-rich stuff. So ClickUp is my project management. It's where I have templates. So if I've got a task that's a blog post, I've got a template for that includes like all the things that need to get done. Like it needs to be outlined, it needs to be drafted, it needs to be edited and proofread and finalized, and the graphics need to be made, or the video needs to be made, and the pin description needs to be in there, and the meta description for the post, and I need to make sure that there's some sort of email sign up form, and I need to make sure I'm trying to remember all the things that are on my kind of checklist for each blog post. And then I've got, it's sort of so I've got a blog post editorial calendar, so I've got that checklist, but then I've got an email list or an email marketing editorial calendar where I look at, okay, what's coming out that week that I need to let my list know about, and that helps me building that out. And again, it's hey, has this been drafted? Has it been edited? Has it been scheduled? Sometimes scheduled means I'm publishing same day, but it's making sure I don't miss something there. Am I, promoting any affiliate products? Have I made sure to include my affiliate disclosure, which means the way I've set up in ConvertKit is I actually have a disclosure template email so that it always includes the disclosure, so I don't have to worry about it. I just have to make sure I select that template if I'm talking about affiliate products. And we'll get to templates in a second, but it's making sure I've got a system, that works for me. And for me, when you dig into that, when I'm creating a blog post and I finalize the title, I put it into my graphics generator that I've created myself, and I click a button and it generates the rough draft of my pins, Instagram, and the featured image, so that I'm not having to go in and start all this from scratch. I just go in and I make some tweaks. I maybe swap out the background image, and then I'm done, and it makes it a lot faster for me. And that's where I got a little fancier with my automations, right? But yours don't have to be that complicated. It could just be a checklist to make sure you don't forget something. So make sure you do have systems in place. It's a lot easier to take a step back and create them than trying to create them when you're trying to get something done. So when you find yourself at the moment, which I know is unlikely, maybe you're taking a break from posting so that you can kind of get ahead of the game. We talked about that in a previous episode. I think it was episode 2, staying consistent with your blog. So if you're on that hard break, make sure you're thinking through the systems that'll help you stay consistent as well. So, all right. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about templates and why you should be using them as well. So first thing I want to ask you is, are you hard coding everything on your website? The answer is probably no. And the reason why is probably because you don't have to, right? There are tools available that make running a website available to everyone, even people like me who really have no idea how to code. If I had to code, I wouldn't have a website, I wouldn't have an online business. So I want to kind of ask, why don't you take that same shortcut when it comes to other parts of blogging? right? Social media templates, templates that can help you create products faster, whether it's like a slides template for a webinar or promo images or, I mean, there's a million different things. Like I said, I have like just a template within ConvertKit of making sure I include my disclosure, things like that. It's fine to want to, I mean, it's fine if you want to make things harder on yourself. But the reality is that starting with a template and then customizing it to make it yours is not only easier than starting from scratch, but usually takes less time too. Because I get, I think some of the hesitation of using templates is you don't want your stuff to look like everyone else's. Like, you don't, right? You want it to stand out. But starting with a template, you can take some stuff out or tweak some things, and you can do more than just change the colors and fonts, right? You can really dig in and be like, I don't actually like this part of the template, and I'm going to delete this element. And then it really is making it your own. It looks a lot better. So I think it's always wise to start with templates. It's always easier to look at something than to look at a blank slate. Personally, that's my opinion. And then the next problem when it comes to templates, though, is spending forever finding and or deciding on which templates to use, right? Maybe you're doing a sales page or an opt-in landing page or pins, whatever it is. There's a gazillion places to find templates. Canva has a ton, and I'm not a huge Canva fan because I do like using Google Slides because if you listen to the last episode, it saves me a lot of time actually. Canva's good and all. It just I find it super cumbersome now that I've been doing stuff in Google Slides for a year. It's just so much faster. So my only qualm about using Canva templates, and I find this even when I find really good templates, like Kara Fid at Simplifying DIY Design. She creates amazing templates, but she does them in Canva 90% of the time. I mean, I actually purchased some page templates from her, and they're for Elementor, and so that worked great. Like I didn't have to recreate it anywhere. But she did, her pin templates are in Canva or something, and I wanted to check them out because I'm not a designer. Like, I can work really hard, creating pins and templates for myself, or I can just, make it easy and buy some ones and then tweak them. So what I had to do when they were in Canva is I had to kind of recreate them in Google Slides for myself. But it does save me time in the long run, and I think they do look better than some of the ones I came up with. So, but yeah, so there's tons of great templates out there. I'd say once you find ones you like, stop. Like, get them, buy them. If they're free, get them. So don't spend forever looking and be like, oh, I don't know, I kind of like this one, or do I like that one? Like, once you find ones you like, just stop looking and start using them. Don't debate. Don't keep looking for better ones. Just start using them to create so that you can get the stuff that's on your list to do done. Like, once you found someone, you start continuing to look, then you're really just wasting time. You're procrastinating doing the work itself. So once you find something you like, just do it. Just dive in. All right. So I hope that helps you better understand why you need both systems and templates as a blogger. If you have any questions, be sure to hit me up on Instagram. My handle is just Liz Stapleton ESQ, and let me know. And be sure to join me next week when I will be talking about the fastest way to make money blogging. It was a reader question sent in, so we'll be digging into that. Until next time, I hope you have a great day.